Hello everybody, welcome back to a different video. Hello everybody, welcome back to a different video. Yeah, that's why everyone, we are back with another Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade video before Thursday comes, by the way. We are back to look at the Macy's Parade lineup again because there were some more updates of the balloons, performance, and of course, Broadway, of course, and freaking marching band and the clown cars, or what you want to call it. So we're back with some more updates of the Macy Parade 2025, and before I get to it, guys, I just wanted to let you all know that last month I made a video about it. By the way, last month when it was out back from October from the lineup, which it hasn't any like Maury balloon yet, or a kind of stuff like that before the Maury balloon came, or the what else? Pac-Man was next, and of course some of the new floats as well. So you get the rest. We are back to look at the lineup again. So here's how this is gonna go. So I'm only gonna be looking at a few balloons. Mostly the performers. I gotta look at the other marching bands and that type of stuff, because if you all do not know, I made a video about this last month when it was announced for the lineup already, which I talked about it before. If you want to see my previous video about it, please go check it out. Link in the description box below so you can see my previous one before you all see this one. Because I've mostly been talking about the balloons and the type of floats and that from last time. But here's what I'm going to do. So, I'm going to be talking about the new balloons. I'm going to be talking about the performers. I got to talk about the, what you want to expect. Something like that. So that's what we're going to be doing. Yeah. And also, don't forget, this Thursday, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade will be coming out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Even though I cannot believe it's so early, but hey. It's been early ever since, if you get what I mean. But you know what I mean. But still. But yeah. Let's see how this is going to go. So I have already looked at the website before. So this time I want to make a video about it so I can show you what the performers we have this year and some of the balloons and that type of stuff. And keep in mind, it's going to be streaming on Peacock, by the way. And it's going to be on NBC as well. So we already know about that. So, yeah. Alright, before we get started, let's get link in the description, but I can't speak. Go subscribe to my channel, notification bell, like, share, comment, subscribe, and then let's see what we got for this year's parade. And remember, I'm only going to be looking at the new ones because I already talked about the previous ones, so just keep in mind. Alright, let's get started. And also, I forgot one more thing. Before we get to the parade route, the lineup, the update ones, by the way, we already know that Jimmy Fallon and the Roots are coming back again, so that's all I'm going to say. Jimmy Fallon, the Roots, woo! Alright, so here is the background for the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade 2025, which is coming out very, very soon, which is coming out Thursday morning. We got the Buzz Lightyear balloon and the Pac-Man balloon, which we'll be talking about Pac-Man for a minute. So here's the new background, and it looks pretty good. And yeah, now let's get to the lineup. Alright, so here's we got the 34 balloons are coming this year. So let's go right ahead and mention the new ones. So I have already talked about the Acorn one. I talked about the Bad Snoopy one. Oh, by the way, I did a mistake about the Snoopy one. This balloon did not come out in 2024. This balloon came out in 2023. So I do apologize for the mistake. So just to keep in mind, I do apologize. Sometimes I don't remember, so it is what it is. Alright, so yeah, they finally got the picture for the blue and white Macy's store. I already talked about Bluey. I already talked about the new Buzz Lightyear balloon, just to keep in mind. I already talked about the Kenny Kane. I know that's back. I already talked about the Diet Whippy Kid balloon. I already talked about the Minnie Mouse balloon. And I'm surprised they really update the Dora balloon, even thought with the float because it used to be on a float attach last time. Even thought, have you heard the show's already canceled for this reboot? Because I don't even care, to be honest. That door reboot, I don't know why they had to be resist. And also, I already talked about Gabby's Dollhouse, which I'm not a fan of. I already talked about Goku. I already talked about the I already talked about the float with the balloons, so that I know that's coming back. Now the green star hasn't been pop out, so I already know that's coming back. The eyes cluster I already mentioned about. The Macy stars already got to that. I already talked about Marshall. I already talked about Monkey D. Luffy. I also heard a lot of updates about the Noah balloon because I heard last year it didn't really make it to the parade because of the Elf on the Shelf and that type of stuff and the winds and that. So instead it has Noah instead of replace Elf on the Shelf. But I already talked about that. I already talked about Pikachu and Eevee. Even though this balloon has been around since 2019, I guess. But I'm surprised this balloon is still around. I already talked about no, I think this was since 2021, right? Sorry, it's been a long time when this balloon was debuted. Of course, that's coming back, and the pumpkins. Yeah, those three are just the same ones. We already get it. The Mermaid Macy, yeah. Also, I already talked about the Shrek onion carriage, so just let you know. I already talked about Smokey Bear. I already talked about Spider-Man. The Sucker Ball picture hasn't been popped out, so that's probably coming back. And I already talked about the new Million balloons through the Million, and that's about it. And the Macy story has been an update too, so yeah. And as for the floats, we got 28 of them. I already talked about most of these because most of them are just the same ones. Like how Sesame Street floats have been going on for 21 years of this float, which I already know that's still around. As for the rest of these, yeah, the rest of these are just the same ones. The rest of the floats are just the same ones. Like, these are the same. There's one comeback. I would mention that in a minute. I already talked about some of these floats that have been popping up. The Magic Meets the Seeds. I already talked about that. Santa Sleigh, Tom Turkey. I already mentioned that. And I already mentioned about these two as well. So the things I need to talk about for the new floats, I will talk about those in a minute. And as for the full balloons, oh yeah, I'm going to mention Susan for a minute. I already mentioned about these three right here. Now, when I would talk about Froze Peeps before, they're cute, yes. I was like, who the fuck is these? But look, I was so confused about these because I thought it was something new, but I did not recognize that was Elf on the Shelf Froze Peeps. That's what it's mostly they call because they're like baby ones. So I do apologize if I did a mistake because I did not know who those are for a minute, but those are Elf on the Shelf babies. So that's kind of cute. I think the reason why because I think the last float from the Elf on the Shelf has probably retired, so I think that's why. But yeah, those are new to the parade. They're so cute, so you get the point. Can't wait to see how that goes. I'm going to be mentioning about Susan for a minute. The hippos are new, by the way. I already talked about that before. And as for the clowns, it's mostly just the same ones. The clowns are just the same ones. The clowns are just the same ones. And as for the 9 performers, oh yeah, we're going to get to those in a minute. As for the 14 special units, it's mostly the same ones. Some of them are just the same ones. Yeah, like some of these are just the same ones. Yeah, there's a few new ones I already talked about before. I talked about the Rainbow Tour and the Graybow Tour. I already talked about them. And I already talked about this thing right here, Wigglyfoot, which I don't know why this become a thing. I don't know why this is a thing, but it looks so weird, but let's see how it goes for the Macy Parade this Thursday. I want to see. I've been waiting for a whole month to see how that's going to go. So most of these are just the same ones that are coming up. And now I'm going ahead and mention about some of the new balloons and the floats and that. So let's get started with the new one. I already talked about Buzz Lightyear and Shrek, so just keep in mind for my last video I made, so keep in mind. Now, let's talk about Derby Tiger. Of course, the latest Sony Pictures biggest animated film, by the way. That's a new thing, by the way. Here is Derby Tiger. One of the new balloons since the movie was so popular. What do you expect? K-pop Demon Hunters. And this search right here, step into the board new universe where music meets math, and with Derby Tiger from the worldwide anime-centered K-pop Demon Hunters. Sorry if I can't speak right, you know how I am sometimes. The Mitch supernatural spirit knows from his lemon-sized blue, cold, glowing yellow eyes and underwhelming smile will be impossible to meet the souls from New York City for the first time. And look how cute he is! Woo! Wee! Wee! But seriously, if you haven't seen K-pop Demon Hunters, please go check it out. It's really awesome. And also, keep this in mind, by the way. The performers, the K-pop Demon Hunters singing girls, by the way, are going to be in the Macy parade too. But I will mention that in a minute. So, yeah. And the new balloon I want to talk about is one of my biggest favorites. Super Mario. Now, when I saw the new Mario balloon for the first time, I was absolutely mind blown. I was so mind blown. And I am not kidding. I was so mind blown. I didn't scream, but I was shocked. And I gotta say, this is gonna be one of the best balloons I have ever seen this year. And I love Mario. You know I'm a big Mario fan. And I love Mario, and I really still love Mario to this day. I've been a big Mario fan for years, and I've been waiting for years for this balloon. I don't know if they were a floor mascot or whatever. I've been waiting for years for this balloon. And I am not kidding. I've been waiting for this balloon for years. Ever since Sonic the Hedgehog and Pikachu's been getting their chance. I know Kirby did not get a chance yet, or Link. But for Mario, Mario is my biggest important around here. And I'm so happy that Mario got him a blue balloon. It's about freaking time. Thank you, Nintendo. And I already know they're going to mention about this next year as well because of the new Mario Galaxy movie. So, I am still excited to see the Mario balloon again next year as well. And also, keep in mind, there are 100th anniversaries next year of the Macy's parade. So, just to keep in mind for you. But I cannot wait for this Mario balloon. Oh, yeah. Let's read the thing. Mario, the mustache hero from the Mushroom Kingdom, will fly over the streets of Merida this November, and his parade debut, clutching his classic blue uniforms and his sunny red cap, Mario, to prepare to keep the Big Apple safe from the mighty Bowser and his army of minions. Of course, look at the freaking feats. And also from the fun facts, the telling Marvel has been this against the 40 years since the don't bring Marvel to this, bro. Let's not bring Mario to this. Now, the next balloon I want to talk about is Pac-Man. You know, I was really surprised they finally now got a Pac-Man balloon. Now, I'm not really a biggest Pac-Man fan, but I was really surprised Pac-Man finally got his own chance to be in the Macy's parade. I know, it's surprisingly surprised. We got Pac-Man holding a cherry and waka 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 waka. And I'm really surprised now Pac-Man's finally got himself a Macy balloon, so it's about time. But I wonder who's going to be next, Baby Kirby or freaking Link, or who's next, I don't know. But anyways, for the fun fact for the new Pac-Man balloon, by the way, as Pac-Man makes his way through the streets of Mandale, the hungry hero is ready to chop anything and everything Pac-Man knows. Of course, you know how Pac-Man is. For his appetite has been eating Pac-Dogs and colorful fruits while affording the team to miniature ghosts. Pinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde for 45 years. Speaking of which, the reason why they made this Pac-Man balloon is because for their 45th anniversary, which that's pretty great. And here's the fun fact, of course, Pac-Man can be seen holding a pair of shiny red cherries because we already know why, because it's on the freaking balloon. So that's the rest of the balloons I can mention. As for the Shrek one, I already talked about Shrek and Buzz Lightyear, but I also want to keep in mind, I already mentioned about Shrek's kids over here, so just to keep in mind if everybody's going to see the Macy parade on Thursday, so keep in mind. Now, there was 2 balloons that came back, of course, which I thought they would retire, but they really come back. And of course, one of the biggest franchise that Nickelodeon keeps milking is SpongeBob SquarePants, and Gary is coming back to the Macy's parade again. Well, you already know why. And you guys already know why this balloon is coming back, you may ask. It's mostly because the new SpongeBob movie, Search of SquarePants, which is coming before Christmas, by the way. And yeah, SpongeBob has been one of my favorites, by the way. Even for too bad the franchise has been downhill thanks for the milking costs of Nickelodeon. But I still love SpongeBob no matter what. Because I love SpongeBob, and I'm really glad that I'm still bringing this balloon. I mostly love that balloon because of Gary on the top and that. Where it really makes sense because they're from their 3rd movie, by the way, if you guys notice. Sponge on the One. That everybody's been having problems of, but still. Excuse me. So, sorry, I'm just bumping. For the updates, by the way, the owner of the Sea Sponge is all smiles at his return for his 21st appearance, waiting for some fun with his pet snail Gary, before he set off to the deep sea to the adventures of the underworld in the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, Search of SquarePants, this Christmas. So yeah, can't wait to see SpongeBob again. Now, last but not least, we got, of course, woohoo! Pill Boy Dodge Boy. Yep, that's right, folks. This balloon is also coming back to the parade as well. I thought Pudge Boy Dumb Boy got retired for a second, but I'm really surprised they bring this back for a reason. I think it says here, the Pin Boy Dodge Boy souls around this year's parade to the seeds of cinnamon rolls and biscuits and bigger. Yeah, so, I mean, what for? I mean, do you think is the reason? I don't know. I mean, I think it's for some more fun of a Pin Boy, I guess. Don't get me wrong, I really love Pin Boy Dodge Boy. It's really good. I just didn't know why they'd come back to the play again for some reason. I thought it was something new, but I mean, I think it really makes sense because of the hard teen treats. So that does make sense. Oh well. But yeah, guys, that's all the balloons I have for this year. But, I have some sad news. There was like... Oh boy. Okay, so some of the balloons may be a little bit different, but the Stuart the Million balloon that everybody really likes, the banana ones, by the way, has Sally retire, which is understandable why, but it was replaced, well, a little bit of an upgrade, but still a little bit different because of the, without the banana, because instead we have some of the Minions. So that's why Stuart the Million balloon got changed. Oh my gosh. Warren O'Donnell, the Big Red Shoe Car, and the float, the balloon, by the way, is sadly not on this list. I know, I am not joking. The Warren O'Donnell Shoe Car and the balloon sadly retired. Actually, the balloon got retired, but I have no idea why the Big Red Shoe Car is now on this lineup. Because I thought we saw Warren O'Donnell every year, to be honest. Well, mostly, but still. But that's sad. It's sad not seeing Warren O'Donnell on this float, which is probably retired for reasons. Sally doesn't know one, by the way, and you may know the baby dinos, by the way, with the mama dinosaur. Sally, they're not on this lineup, and Sally, they'll retire. I know everybody really loved the dinosaur balloon, but it's sad that one's not on the list either. I'm not surprised this balloon got retired because everybody loved that float. I mean, mostly everybody loved that balloon, and sometimes they love the baby dinos as well. It's kind of sad for not seeing them in the lineup, so that means they retire now. Which, that's sad. It is sad, but I guess it is what it is. We have to have new balloons. It is what it is. And that's all I got for the updates of all the new balloons are coming this year. Now let's talk about some of the celebrities, aka some of the performer singers, by the way, are going to be joining this parade. And yeah, there was some familiar ones on this list, and there was few of them I may not know. But I just want to go ahead and mention that now. The first one we got here is, of course, Buster Rhymes. That's his name. Yes, so he is going to be joining the parade, and on the float. Yes, he's going to be on the float. He's going to be on the Teenage Ninja Turtles float, which that float is awesome, by the way. I do love that with the Mutant Mayhem. It's great to see him on the float, even for he also won like 20 million albums worldwide. Followed by with the you get the rest, 200 top 10 billboards on the Billboard. So great to see him again. Now, I may not know. There is Glumscott, a UK single. I may not know who he is, but he's a UK single with yeah, there is some people I have a hard time with, but not to hate it, no. I'm so glad to see some of them are coming on the parade, but yeah. And also on the float, they're going to be on the Master Chocolate balloon, by the way. Ballroom. Oh yeah, that new float we could get to in a minute. And yeah. And also, of course, we got Christopher Jackson, who used to be the songwriter for Moana, by the way, who was singing the song from Moana, by the way. And also, he's also a Emmy Award winner, by the way. And guess what float he's going to be on? I don't know if a lot of you remember the 2016 Macy's Thanksgiving Parade, but I'm going to tell you this right now. Christopher Jackson is going to be back on the Sesame Street float again after 9 years. Look, I was not kind of surprised they really have him again, but this is kind of surprising. I thought they hire a different singer this year, but they have the same one again, which that's kind of not what I was expecting. Now, what I remember with Christopher Jackson with the cast of Sesame Street, he sang Learn About Kindness, of course. But since Sesame Street's been having a little small characters, like Elmo still going, there's Abby, Big Bird, Elmo, well, Cookie Monster, you get the rest of Grover. But is Christopher Jackson singing a different song with the Sesame Street gang? I don't know, because if you remember the 2022 and the 2023, you know what I mean, the 2022 and the 2023 Sesame Street float, they've been singing the same songs again. I don't want to mention why, but you probably know why. With one single, by the way, from 2023. So if Christopher Jackson is coming back to the parade, I hope it could be a different song. If not, it could be the same song from 2016 or a remake version of Learn About Kindness with the new cast of the Freak Culture Muppets or Woody or whatever they're going to be doing. I don't know. So that's all I'm going to say. But I'm still excited for Sesame Street. You guys already know. So still love Sesame Street. Yada yada yada. So yeah, move on. Our next one on the list is Clara, of course, which was a Grammy winner of Global Superstar single, by the way. And she's going to be joining the parade. And she's going to be on the float of the Ways of Wonder. So just to keep in mind. Now the next one we have here is Colby sorry, her name, I'm sorry. She was a 2 Grammy winner of 5-time nominees with over 25 billion streams, no of hits like, well, you get the rest. And she's going to be on the Pots of Sweets by, wait, which floor is this again? Hold on, which floor is this again? Oh, yeah, that one. Oh. Okay, so a lot of you are going to be so familiar with this actor right here. If you know her from Wicked, which I'm not really a fan of Wicked if you guys respect my opinion, she is going to be back in the parade again this year. And this time she's going to be doing the opening number. That's right, she's going to be doing the opening number for the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. So, good luck. Good luck. You got this. Sorry, her name is so it's hard to say it. Now, the next one on the list is, of course, Darren Love, and she was a holiday classic Christmas "Baby Please Come Home," of course, if you guys remember that song. And wait, she's really 84? Dang, man. Anyways, she's gonna be on the deck of the Haws float, by the way, just to keep in mind. Now, the next up we got here is Debbie Grayson, and of course, she was a Billboard Hot 100 of Village Beats, if you guys remember that song. And she is going to be on the float of the Counting Sheeps. The Counting Sheeps, man. You know, that one of the new folks we're going to talk about in a minute. The next up we got here, of course, it's going to be Dual Burridge, by the way. And he was a 2025 highlights, of course, with the 10 songs I Wish I Write to his goal. She's Somebody's Daughter in that. And also, I may not know who he is, but he was a tour across the UK and Europe, by the way, which I may not know that guy too much, but just to keep in mind. But he's going to be on the float of the heartwarming holiday countdown, so just to keep in mind. Now, oh my gosh, the biggest one that I was really surprised, and I knew it all this time, by the way, is the K-pop Demon Hunter girls. I knew it all this time that they're going to be in the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. I am not kidding. They're going to be on the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade, but sadly, they're not going to be on the float. So instead, they're going to do a pre-performance around 84th Street. I think that's what it's supposed to call again. Yeah, that street. You know, I would definitely love to see them on the float, sadly, because there was so many fans who would love to wave at them and that. But I do understand, I really do understand why, because since it was so popular, I guess it really makes sense why. But just to keep in mind, by the way, they are going to be in the Macy's Parade. But if they're not going to be on the float, that means they're going to be on the pre-performance, which is probably you know why, like Broadway did, so, you know. But, baby, if they come back next year, baby, they might be on the float. I'm not sure, but who knows. But it's really good to see these scores again because they were so popular, believe that. But anyways, one of the sets right here, when they are on Shanghai Stadium, K-pop superstars Rumi, Mer, and Sora use their secret identities to battle as demon hunters, but to protect their fans from as they have a part of supernatural tree. Together, they must face their biggest enemy yet, and oh yeah, the demon boy bands. But it's really so glad. I'm so excited to see these three, but I'm a little sad they're not going to be on the float. But who knows what's going to happen. So the next up we got here is Forage, by the way, another group band, by the way. They're all the most popular walk acts in the world, by the way. If you may recognize these songs and that. And of course, they're going to be on a float, and they're going to be on the Stranger Things float, the newest float, by the way, I'm going to talk about it soon. So yeah, the next up we got on this list is Gavin Digway, and he was a Way talent, by the way, because you may know for some of the songs, of course. And he's going to be on the Palace of Sweets, of course, if you know what that one is. So yeah, and the next up we got here is Julius, by the way. She's also a 30-minute album worldwide and that. And you may know her for some songs. And she also was in the Saturday Night Live and the Super Bowl and the NBA finales, of course. And yes, they're going to be at the the float, they're going to be at the land of the Ice of Wonder. So, alright, good luck. Oh, this one's good. This one's a good one. Oh my gosh. Kool and the Gang. You know, I'm really surprised they finally got Kool and the Gang in the Macy's Parade. Now, this is so surprisingly to see these boys. Rest in peace to one of them, by the way. But it was really surprising to see them again. You may recognize for some of the songs like Celebration Time, come on. You know what I mean. And also, they're going to be on the float, and they're going to be on the Borax Sue float, if you know which one I'm talking about. So I cannot wait to see these guys. Woohoo! The next float I got here is, of course, I know a lot of you may know her, by the way, Lindsay Wilson, which you already know a Grammy Award, by the way. And yes, sadly, she's not going to be on the float. I know she is so popular, yes, but sad not to be on the float. So instead, she's going to be a pre-performance, by the way. So, alright, why not? So yeah, can't wait to see how she's going to do in this Macy's Parade. Next up I got right here is, of course, you may recognize her a little bit, Lauren Spencer Smith, which you already know familiar ones like Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, or Today's Show. And she's going to also be on the float. She's going to be on the Chocolate Factory float. So, alright. Oh my gosh, dude. Lil Jon. That's why, everybody. Lil Jon is going to be the Macy's Parade. Yo, I did not really expect to see Lil Jon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade before. I think this is his first time now. Oh my gosh. So, I know who he is. I know who Lil Jon is. And let me tell you, you may know him from a lot of things. And of course, the songs, of course. And on the float, they're going to be on the Toys R Us float. The freaking Dancing Dance Party. You know what I mean. Oh my gosh. And the next, I cannot wait to see Lil Jon, man. Oh my gosh. Next up, a guy right here is, I do not know who she is. She's a Brazil pop star, by the way. And she's also going to be on Door float, of course. So, yeah. Welcome. So, I don't know who she is. My bad. Next up, a guy right here is, another one I don't know either. Maru Borsu? I'm sorry, there's some familiar ones I do not know of. But, good to see him. He's also going to be in the Pulse Night float, keep in mind. Now, of course, this one right here. Meg Doran, by the way. You may recognize her for some of the songs, of course. She was also in the, oh my gosh, Disney Zombies franchise, by the way, if you know who she is. She's also a TV star, by the way. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe she's going to be in the parade. But, she's also going to be on the float, of course, and she's going to be on the new Lego float I'm going to talk about in a minute as well. And, yeah, this should be fun. Alright, the next one I got here is, oh shit, I recognize her a little bit. Mickey Gorton. You may recognize her from some songs or NBA All-Star and that, and Firework and that. She's going to be on a float, of course, and she's also going to be the Holiday Countdown too, okay. So that's surprising. And of course, we got another person, is Mr. Fennis. Oh, of course, he was also busting into TikTok, of course. You may recognize him for some things. But speaking of which, he's also going to be on a float, and he's going to be the Jolly Polly Power. Oh, yeah, that float just came back. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But yeah, it's good to see him on this freaking play. Oh my gosh. Another one, of course, is also Woman, by which I probably don't know who he is, by the way. But I have, I don't know him that much, but he's also going to be in the parade. But he's also going to be on a float, and he's going to be at the Master Chocolate Ballroom, of course, as well. So familiar over the second one, too. Now, the next up we got here is of Of course, Russell Dickinson. You may know him from some familiar songs, of course, so that's surprising. And he's also going to be on a float, of course. He's going to be hauling the Valley float. So, great to see him again. Cannot wait to see how he goes. Oh, this is a good one. Shaggy. It's Shaggy, bro. It's Shaggy. Bro. Shaggy has joined the parade, of course. And, you may know him from a lot of songs, man. Oh, my gosh. And, good old classic songs, by the way. And yes, he's going to be on a float with a big Tookie float. So this should be fun. Now, the next up we got here, oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. Taylor Morrison. Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. You may recognize her from AC/DC and the Rolling Stones or Soundgarden, that type of things. But it's great to see her. But sadly, she's not going to be on a float either. But I really do understand why. But she is a star, you know. But it's good to see her again. Now, we got two more left. The next up we got here is, oh, who is she again? Oh, yeah, Terrence Tyler. I don't know who she is, but she has, like, familiar songs in that, so that's nice. But still, good. That's pretty good. So that's good. And last but not least, we got, Tyler Peak. And, you may recognize her who was ballet, by the way, and the New York City Ballet, by the way. And of course, she's also going to be on a float as well. The Master Chocolate. So 3 of them are going to be on the Chocolate Ballroom float? Oh yeah, that's one of the new floats, by the way. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But anyway, guys, that's all of the celebrity performers that are coming this year. The most exciting one I'm really surprised to see on here, especially the K-pop Demon Hunter ones, and include the gang in that. And Lil Jon. As for the rest of them, they're fine. There's a few I do not know on here, and there might be some I'm kind of familiar with, but is what it is. Let's see what they got. Woo! Alright, so I got all done with the performers out of the way. Now it's time to talk about the new balloons. Not the... What the fuck? No, it's the floats. I don't know why I said balloons, but floats. I mean, floats. I already talk about the balloons. I already talk about the balloons. I already talk about the performers. Now I'm going to be talking about the new floats. And before I get to the floats, I'm not going to talk about all of them because most of them are just the same ones. You like the Sesame Street one as an example. There are some of them are just the same ones. So for right now, I'm only going to be talking about the new ones and one comeback one, by the way. So let's get started. The first up we're going to be talking about, of course, is the new Lego balloon, Bricktastic Winter Mountain Float. The new Lego balloon, not fucking... Oh, I can't speak right. The float. Gosh dang it, I can't even speak. Anyways, this is the new Lego float, as you may asking, because the other one got retired, I have heard about, so instead there's a new one instead. So on the new, and it looks really good. It looks pretty good seeing the little Legos on here too. So as for the Lego group sets, on Bricktastic Winter Mountain, a family vacation is anything but expecting. Ski down the slopey along playful artists join the fun hockey tournament with penguins or practice eye fishing with the yeets after a day of fun. And when it's time to get cozy, sip hot cocoa, or enjoy a gingerbread cookie with a friendly snowman. And as for the fun fact, every element on Yoga Matters, oh yeah, like a brick piece, care, that's right. So it actually looks pretty good. I cannot wait to see how that's going to go for that. Okay, what's the next one on here? Most of them are just the same ones. Oh yeah, this one. Oh my gosh. Now, Friendsgiving in Pop City, by the way. I have one question about this float. Why are they on here? You know what? I'm not going to bitch about it. I don't know why these little flickers are appeal because where these creatures are from, that's my question. I don't even know why that's become a thing. Alright. But yeah, it looks a nice float. Not my favorite one, but it looks really nice. I like the pop mall and that type of stuff. Yada yada yada. I do like that poster too. But anyways, yeah, everyone's favorite monsters are bringing Popsy to Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, joined by, of course, Douglas, Sopera, Molly, and Peach, and Kai Hardy, fucking boom! Oh my gosh. And Martha has work tireless to... Yeah, I ain't waiting all of this. No, I'm not waiting all of this. Okay, what's the next one? Some of them are just the same ones. Jesus God. Oh yeah, here is one comeback one, by the way. And that is the Jolly Polly Pirate Ship. Does anybody even remember that float? Like, does everybody still remember this kind of float that was a thing of? Jolly Pirate Ship. You know, I thought this one was retired a long time ago. So I was kind of surprised they bring this one back. But yeah, ahoy mateys, Macy is happy to welcome you back aboard on the Jolly Pirate Ship. The floor is so you several timbers have been powered. We're looking for hiding treasure, chase, and make it first flight back to the current series since 2016. Well, almost 10 years now, you son of a bitch. Getting on the way back to his main fort in 1969, that's beloved for, yeah, 6 decades of Thanksgiving celebration. I'm really surprised they brought this one back. I think that's the reason why. This would be the ship 38 special along the parade route, making the longest one for Macy's Parade's history. Oh, you know, Sesame Street, if Sesame Street is going to keep having that same flow, it's going to be even more. Seriously, wait until that happens. Alright, what's next? Oh, yeah. This is the new Disney News Cruise float, by the way, that just came last year. So, the old one got retired. So, just to let you know, the Magic Mickey the Scenes are coming back. That's another new float that I mentioned from last year. Oh, yeah, here's the chocolate ballroom float. And it actually looks pretty good. I do like the ballerina on the top. And they have like little balls are going to be popping out. By the way, if you don't even notice. But yeah, oh my gosh. Clean fights you to the master chocolate ballroom and spinning with troubles melt away and there to some signs that you whisk getting away to the dance floor. Notice the cold ice over the mini webs and la 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 la. Yeah, something like that. Master chocolate people 50 shapes. Yeah, this floor looks. Even this is a new one, by the way. It looks really good. I like the stairs, by the way. I do like the little bow on the top too. So can't wait to see how that goes. Now, some of them are just the same ones. Sand float. Oh, now we're gonna get to some of the 3 new ones, and that is, of course, the Counting Sheep. Yep, the new sheep float is going to be a new thing coming up for the Macy's Parade. And I do like some of the little sheeps on there. They're kind of cute. The Counting Sheep Dreams, by the way. So, yeah, it says little sheeps of nighttime ingredients, stars, moons, and cloud. Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, sheep outlook. Do you know that? Yeah, sure. So I do like that flow. It looks pretty good. So I cannot wait to see how that goes. Now, the next up we got here. Oh yeah, I already mentioned about this one, by the way. If you want to see my previous video, by the way, about this, let me know in the link in the description box below. Alright, of course, the littlest float. The goldfish float. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How tiny is going to be? How tiny? How tiny is that float going to be? Oh my gosh. How tiny would that be? Oh my gosh. But anyways, yeah, I love goldfish, but bruh, how small is that going to be? Oh my gosh. How small is that going to be? I don't know. But it has the Smiley Small Man, by the way, on 34th Street. So, yeah, let's see how small it's going to be on Thursday comes. Anyways, last but not least, the Stranger Things the float, by the way. Wow, I'm going to say balloon. Gosh, why am I... Oh, my gosh. The float. And, Macy's did not update the float. Macy's did not update the float. But here is some good news. Here is some good news, by the way. So instead, it's not on the Macy's Thanksgiving Macy route. Instead, they made news about the float. And I think about the new float mentioning about it. So that's pretty good to know. Now, I'm going to show you what it looks like just for right now. I can't really play the news clip because I copyrighted, so instead I'm only going to be mentioning the picture right here. I'm going to find it for a minute to see where it is. Yes, here he is. Okay. Alright, here we go. So this is what the new Stranger Things float's going to be like, and yeah, it has the monster, of course, if you remember the show, or you want to call it. Yeah, look, it has lights and that type of stuff. And of course, it has Hawking's power lights, of course. So it's mostly going to be a Power of Light Stranger Things float, with the people's going to be wearing masks. I think except for the celebrity ones, because they're probably going to be doing all of that. I have no freaking clue. But this is what the new flow of Stranger Things is going to be like. So, I don't want to say it looks pretty good. I do like the lights and that type of stuff, so that's pretty good. So I like it. See, look at that. Look, it's so cool. Woo! Look at that. Woo! Oh my gosh. People is absolutely going to love that. Oh my gosh. That's just awesome. Alright, everyone. So that's all the floats we got over here. And yeah, most of them are just the same floats. Like most of them. So just to keep in mind. So yeah, down. Yeah, a few more new ones I already talked about. So there you go. Yada. So yeah. Now, last but not least, we got the marching bands and of course the 4 balloons. So let's go ahead and mention them very quick because I'm not a marching band guy, but I do like some of them in the parade. They do a really good job. So shout out to all these people in high school or college for doing an awesome job with it. Like we got the Acorn State University. We got like the Treasure High School marching band. We got the municipal wingman. We got the some kind of Mexico parade. We got the Bell Blue Wine Band. We got the Macy's Grand America marching band. Of course, that's coming. Of course, I know that's the police. Yep, that's always a thing. These two are. That's pretty awesome. Notre University marching band, of course. There's also have the drum and bench club. They also got the University Diamond Band. They also, and finally, they got the University of North Alabama Marching Pride, which I don't know why I said pride, but whatever. But anyways, that's all the new marching bands. And as for the balloons, yeah, this one's just the same, but the 3 are just new ones. I already talked about the hippos and the frost pips, so instead, we also got the newest K-pop Demon Hunters one as well, and that is going to be Susan and Flower Pot, of course, which that's also a new thing. Stepping into our new universe, yeah, that's mostly the same ones. And 34th Street. Dang, excuse me. And the Clown Crew, they're just the same ones. We also got the 9 performer groups, by the way, and that is Love a New Generation, Next Generation, Circus One, I Love Dance, Young Professor, yeah, Pride Productions, yeah, that's new. Walkie E. Brown, there's also Spirits of America Dance Stars, and finally, not least, Star Trek Cycling, yeah, that's a new one. And last but not least, we also got the 14 special units. We got Cookie, we got freaking, what is this called again? I guess. This one's coming back already now. I already talked about some of these. Rainbow Wild. Some of these are just the same ones, like the Nutcracker, the Mouse King, and then some of these were probably new last year. Those are coming back. Yeah, most of these are just the same ones. And as for this, how in the world 8 people are going to fit in that thing? Or 9 or 8 people, I don't know. You know what? We see what that happens. And that's what I got for the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade 2025, which it has some of the familiar celebrities and some amazing balloons like Mario that I'm really more excited of, and also some good other stuffs in that way. So my little disappointing from the balloons, which has got to be Warren McDonald and the dinosaur balloons. Because I do love Warren McDonald, and I understand that it's a shame that I have that on the list. I think it's because they retiring that, so instead they're going to make new ones, I guess. I'm not sure. As for the, what else? For the balloons, Mario is my most favorite one. I just want to let you know. The Mario one is mostly my favorite one. And I'm really surprised that SpongeBob and the Dutch Boy are coming back, which we already know why, but still. As for the floats, same ones, but at least we got some new ones, so that's good. I do like the most thing of the new float I really like, especially the I'm gonna go with I guess the Lego one, but I guess. But anyways, that's all I'm going to say. As the performers, the most thing I'm really excited of is the K-pop Demon Hunter girls. And as for, also, I'm really surprised I put Cole in the Gang and Lil Jon in this parade. And they also got Lane Weston in that too. As for the rest of the people, I think they're good. I'm fine for some of them. I may not know all of them, but at least I can know a few. And I still cannot believe you got Meg in this too. Oh my gosh. And you got Shaggy, you got Tello in that too, but I don't know how 2026 is gonna go for some of them, but who knows? But we gotta wait and see. But yeah, guys. As for the what else before I go? The marching band, it's just fine. The 4 balloons, I do like the little baby elf on the shelves, Frost Peeps. They're so cute. I do love that. I like the Susan and Flower Pot one as well. I also, the clowns, they're just the same ones. The performer groups, they're just cheerleaders mostly. And as for the special U-turns, I do like the, I know some of them are just the same ones. But the wiggling foot one is just my confusing one, because I don't know how that's going to go. Oh my gosh. But who knows. But that's all I got for the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade 2025 lineup. Hopefully next year in 2026, we're going to see what we got for the 100th anniversary of the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade of 2026. So we got to wait for another 12, 11 more months until next time. Woohoo! And of course, my birthday's coming up too. I'm going to be 20. Yeah, 2 more weeks after this. Goodness gracious. But yeah, that's all I've got to tell you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any thoughts on your favorite ones, make sure you leave your comments down below. Let me know what's your favorite ones that are coming to the parade, or like besides the floats, like Mario or K-pop Demon Hunters. But let me know what's your thoughts down below for most of all of this. So I may not get this video uploaded to 9:25 because I mostly made this video over a half hour, whatever. But yeah, whatever is what it is. But that's okay. I get it uploaded before 10, baby, so that's fine. But yeah, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I will see y'all next time. Y'all take care and stay safe. Woo!